This is a good place to start.
Welcome back for the second round of BL's flag ratings. Today is probably not green flag day, but we'll see. A quick refresher, I may need to keep these in the first handful of videos just so it isn't lost on what my grading scale is. Again, no bashing or hate since any creators will partake here, but let's get started. Okay, so the first one is Lima Syndrome by Babsot, Story and Art. It's a manhwa, and I'm almost positive it's completed, but the side stories are still going, maybe? The last update was almost 3 years ago, but I always look for the end of side stories tag to be sure. The characters. Muyang and Hiiii, younger top by like a year or two, since they met in school, older bottom. Hiiii is depicted as a loyal, dependable best friend that shows no restraint in helping his best friend. Hiiii is the outgoing, personable, everyone loves him until his parents die. Summary. Muyang has depended on Hiiii for a long time, but he's had enough of freeloading and wants to break out on his own. The only problem is that Muyang's an omega who's having a hard time finding a good job. Plus, his excessive pheromones problem isn't helping. Life for an omega isn't easy, but one day, Hiiii proposes a way for Muyang to reduce his excessive pheromone symptoms. All it requires is for an omega to mate with an alpha. And all Hiiii desires is to make Muyang be unable to live without him. Plot. So, y'all know where this is going, right? We are definitely in black flag territory, so click ahead if you're not interested in this shit show. Basically, the plot is low-key scrambled. It took me a reread to figure out the timeline, and honestly, at this point, it's getting hard to ignore that I need to learn Korean because as an official English translators, not too much. But what English is being used? Anyways, it unfolds a little weirdly in the actual story, but they meet in high school with Hiiii having transferred in as a freshman, or he starts as a freshman. That detail isn't too important. And Muyang, his upperclassman, as these stories often go, is assigned to be like his tour guide for the first day. After that, Hiiii finds ways to stay close to Muyang, and perhaps a bit of a spoiler, it literally doesn't matter because you already know the vibes. His parents die in an accident. And Muyang is devastated, and he ends up having to stay with Hiiii. Long story short, they end up doing what it do. Then Muyang's luck just keeps getting worse. All his other friends abandon him. He gets his testing results for his gender, no surprise, and he's an omega, unable to obtain a job, unable to maintain a job for long. Later, he finally does get a job. Some stuff happens, and trigger warning, maybe? He almost ends up in an unconsented gangbang. But of course, Hiiii shows up at the right time. Some time passes. Muyang decides to let himself be marked, and life goes smoother. Then the random girl from high school reaches out and tells him what's really been up. And my favorite part, when he confronts Hiiii, he's basically like, even if it is true, what you want to do about it? Ooh. Muyang tries to leave him, but that's not this story, okay? A few other things happen, which is where the timeline is switching around between high school and the present / future. And another favorite part, won't spoil it, the mom. Okay? Tags. Younger top, older bottom, ain't shit dubious about it. Very much non-con. Like perhaps it was consensual at the beginning, but more of a here. Damn. Omega verse, alpha / omega, manipulation, psychological for sure. Okay? Strengths / weaknesses. I mean, be so for real. The strength was Even I fell for it, okay? Weaknesses, well, that's up to user mentality, but on a serious note, the misordering of events will have you a bit confused on top of the English being used in some panels, okay? Opinion slash conclusion, I really liked it, of course. I like psychological warfare, so there's that. Not for the fan of horror or to be your first hold the fuck up. I recommend Darkfall as the first. I'm just joking. Please. I thought I'd try my luck. I got told Non-Sum Zero was a green flag when I was first starting out in BLs like this, and wasn't shit green but the shirt I was wearing. Target audience flag. This is a black flag. Let me be clear. It never even graces a red, okay? Do not touch this with a 10-foot pole if you were looking for something giggly. Well, I giggled, but you know what I mean? This gets dark. The second one is a manhwa called Dispar by For You. I'm assuming story and art, but it's not officially listed. Actually, keep clicking because this is another one, but the ride is much wilder. Also, fair warning, it only has 30 chapters and looks like it's been in an indefinite hiatus since the last update was in 2019. I usually don't like reviewing or reading incompleted stories because my nerves too bad, and I'll be out here obsessing over what's coming next. I'm taking shots at fragments of us. I also didn't realize it was complete, either story, when I started them. The characters. I'm just gonna list the main two characters that the story focuses on because it's actually a lot going on in this story. Sawa, I like Sawa. And Miwa, younger top, older boy. Dang it, I keep doing that, but I swear it's not intentional. I'm just going down my reading list. They are, I'm telling you now, this is probably not for the faint of heart, okay? This is probably not for you. Half brothers raised by a very cruel man that also has some crazy good lore. Miha, over the bottom, is presented as sweet, dutiful, just taking the abuse pretty much so he doesn't get cast out. And so younger Tot remains, well, nah, he's deplorable from chapter 0. Mans is vindictive, manipulative, very, very mean, yet possessive and obsessed. The summary that they provided, okay? Miha has always felt like an outsider, even within his own family. Soa takes full advantage of that by forcing him to do his biddings. However, an incident takes place that helps Miha and Soa reflect and figure out what they are feeling for each other. I usually don't read the summaries when I'm reading for me, and generally just check tags because I be wanting to be surprised. But this summary tells you everything you need to know for real, okay? Plot. Baby, I really can't even tell you. I'm being so serious. I'm telling you, I just really need to learn Korean because the English translation had me doing gymnastics in my mind. Like, it starts out easy to understand. Dynamics, place, and situation is established early. And it's definitely some hoopla, okay? I was a little shook by chapter 3. Like, wait a minute. Can I read this? There's the best friend, someone in there that cares about Miha's feelings. Maybe. Don't take that as a definite because I'm still high-key not sure. Then of course the amnesia trope. It happens fairly early on, so not really a spoiler. And while amnesia does make Soa a little less someone we should put a knife in, come back to this part if you read it and giggle with me. He still ain't, he do defend him a little better. Then some behind the scenes nonsense pops off and we're introduced to a second and perhaps a third couple that third couple was ready to rock my shit, okay? I couldn't shut my mouth throughout because I was like, who is this man baby daddy in? Never thought I'd string together words that don't make sense outside of the context. All couples are deeply intertwined. We do some time skipping back and forth, and those English translations had my edges gripped for dear life. I reread it, obviously, but towards the end there, it gets wicked. Like a full, hold on, baby. I was semi-rooting for you. Don't tell me you're nuts too. But after all the nonsense, who wouldn't be, actually? The tags. They got some nonsense like romance as a tag, which is precisely why I'm giving my own, because romance, this is a war. And IDK whose side to be on for real. Psychological for sure. Violence, manipulation, revenge are better adjectives, okay? Strengths/weaknesses. Don't ask me no hard questions. I know I made the roadmap, but this is really user's discretion. I will say I do like Hiiii ain't no bitch. I mean, that could be a spoiler. But that's early on too. It's just, it don't amount to much. I will say the art starts so good, then gets too gritty for my taste. Like, I know art styles change, but I prefer the one from earlier chapters. Opinion/conclusion, the plot be twisting. I was genuinely caught off guard a couple of times, and the smut is crazy, especially with the third couple. High key, it was my favorite. If you read it, you'll understand it from the first video, okay? Otherwise, don't touch this. You got a better chance with the first one. What was the first one? Lemma Syndrome. Like, again, I'm not really here to recommend because it may not be your speed. Definitely mine, but this is a cautionary tale of how to ruin your experiences moving forward if you read Orange and higher. Target audience flag, black flag, no hesitation. And I mean everybody in that bit has no morality. I mean, Mia might be on Orange and the best friend too, but it's incomplete, so we may never know, you know? Okay, number 3. I tried to be a little great here, but this still might make the pearls be clutched. Oh, Futago to Sensei by Ka or Ga. Since it has the tick marks, I'm gonna use that one. Gakinotane, story and art. Not entirely sure on that name, as it's for sure in hiragana, and I'm barely in 5 in Japanese. It's a manga, one shot. It got a couple of. It's not a one shot. Characters. That's actually a very good question. I'm not super great with names, but if you read it, you'll see it's almost irrelevant too. But the summary says Ruri, Sui, and Usami. Yes, it's exactly what you think, okay? Twin brothers Sui and Ruri begin a relationship with their teacher Usami. That's the summary they gave. Plot, it's a one shot. What plot? I mean, it's some events. Again, I don't care why folks are so hardwired to rearrange these timelines, but we move. Twins basically become infatuated with their teacher because he's the only one that can tell them apart. Not even their parents, and you know how that goes. Very interesting. The smut, crazy good, okay? I mean, y'all heard the summary, right? I'm pulling that directly from their description. Tags, incest. I will give this romance because, yeah, you read it, you'll see. But age gap, school-based, hey, they got ecchi in there. So I didn't care about all that, but just a heads up. Okay? Opinion, conclusion. That's smut. Baby, that is a time to be had. Do you hear me? Target audience /flag. I'm gonna give it an orange because incest is not. Well, y'all be acting like y'all ready to knock all this shit over because of it, but AO3 be saying otherwise. But the pedo stuff, I mean, not really, but for sure. In the same way y'all would say Hitojomi no hero. Catch the drift? Anyways, don't touch this either if those elements are icks for you. And the last one. Okay. I really tried this time, lol. It's a manhwa called Fake Ignore This First Part. I swear it's kind of cute. GwangGong Industrial Complex Forging Rock and Roll by Jangson. The story and art. The characters are Junggu and Ju Taekyung. Whew. Next time, I'm definitely going to find some non-younger top / older bottom. Nam Jung-yu is outgoing, life of the party, and bubbly, while Ju Tae-young is quiet, the ones we really gotta watch. The summary from the back of the book, or at least what they got, is low-key longer than the actual story. It's only 4 chapters, but a lot happens, I promise you. So, plot. Basically, my boy Ju Tae-young, the main character, is a stalker after a compliment on his... Damn. I forgot what instrument he plays. It don't matter. And because everyone else said it was creepy, thus leads to the obsessive path of following Nam Jung-yu. But now, my boy gets around and some stuff happens. Y'all know how that go. Okay. So, Taekyung ends up being his manager. The smut hits. That's what I will say. Otherwise, their relationship is it's consensual. That's what I will say. Because it ain't romantic. Tags. They also didn't say this was romantic. It got drama. It got smut. Plot is stalking. And the art is beautiful. Opinion, conclusion. I mean, I basically said it in the text. I ain't gonna draw this out, you know? Target audience / flags. Orangish. However, the line is closer to the magenta. It's a quick read, so depending on how you're looking to get your toes wet in some edgier storylines, this is the place to start. Next video, I'm gonna have to do y'all some yellows and reds to balance it out. Since I started with green and immediately went to black, that wasn't even my intent for real. I'm going in order of stories on my last to be read. I have to keep a list or I'll be rereading and won't know until midway through. Anyways, if this one wasn't for you, it'd be like that sometimes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what stories you need reviewed before you burn your retinas by accident. Thank you. See you later. Bye.
This message will destruct in 5 seconds.